There he is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, MLW One Shot is Thursday, December 7th, Melrose Ballroom in New York City. It's on Fight Plus. You can check out this guy. He's going to be facing, oh man, I don't want to mess this up, but I am. Mascara Dorada. It's going to be for the MLW middleweight and CMLL World Historic Welterweight titles. We're very, very, very much excited to, and sorry, I'm trying to change the overlay. We're welcoming Rocky Romero. Hi, Rocky. How are you doing? I messed everything up. It's great.
Oh, no, we don't.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Rocky.
Your audio. Oh, you can probably hear us.
Yeah, he can hear us.
Well, that's good. Oh, we're gonna do
Rocky, we know you do a lot of interviews.
Yeah. This is the best screen to be caught on.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
I blame Sean. Sean probably tried to sabotage us. He's like, why are these guys talking to Rocky? So
for sure.
Yeah.
Let's all blame Sean. Let's blame the world's problems on Sean. It's his fault.
I mean, a lot of people do for some reason. So.
I watch Twitter or X or whatever you call it now, but yeah, it's true. How you guys doing this morning?
We're great.
Good. How are you? Thank you for joining us.
I'm doing well. A little early for me for interviews, so if I'm a little not all there, give me a second. I'm just waking up.
We ask hard-hitting questions here, and my first question to you is: you're on MLW One Shot next week, so if you had one shot and one opportunity to seize everything you've ever wanted, one moment, would you capture it or just let it slip?
Probably, I would have no choice to let it slip. Yes.
All right.
I would try to capture it, but it would slip either way, you know. I wish I had an Eminem reference to come back with you. I don't know. I don't know enough Eminem to give you a good one back. Sorry.
You don't have any leftover spaghetti in the fridge you can pull out? Nothing like that?
No, not this time.
Talking about MLW, you've got the match next Thursday at the Melrose Ballroom. You've been working with Selena De La Renta. Selena was on this show not too long ago, and she talked about working with you and said that, you know, your interactions had mostly been phone-based. Now that that's changed, what's it been like working with Selena De La Renta?
Selena is awesome. She's awesome. You know, it's cool to see how MLW has changed since the last time I was there a couple of years ago, and kind of like she's like the glue of the whole show, you know, in so many ways. You know, she's obviously extremely creative, and she's a great character on screen, and she brings a lot of charisma to it, you know. So it's been fun interacting and working with her. And you know, and we're doing some good stuff on MLW. I think that the things that we're doing on there have been really, really good, and I'm proud of it and excited for One Shot. I haven't wrestled at the Melrose Ballroom at all, and I'm pretty excited. I heard it's a really cool, intimate venue. So, and then my match to Mascara Dorada. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the first one in CMLL. I don't know how much you guys follow CMLL, but you know, we killed it. So it's going to be an awesome match, and it's going to be an awesome event. And I'm ready to get into shenanigans and do what I got to do and help bringing CMLL to the States, and really showing off in this match, double title match, which is pretty sick. And yeah, overall, I'm ready to go.
I want to ask you about your recent appearance at AEW. You shared the ring with a couple of people in MLW also, Josh Bishop and Tom Lawler, and you helped bring Kenta to AEW as well, is what Dominic Guarini told us. How was your experience at AEW? I'm from Ohio, from Akron, Cleveland area. So how was your experience at AEW? And when Josh Bishop asked you to do anything dumb, like the double entrance, they did that double entrance gimmick, him and Tom Lawler. He said that, Rocky was very confused by it, but he thought it was great. And anything we pitched to Rocky in that match, he was all for. So what was your AEW experience like?
Overall, AEW is awesome. What an awesome fan base. You know, AEW is one of those places that you hear a lot about. And I was looking back through my messages with AEW, and they go back to like 2016. So we just never were able to make anything happen for this long. So it was pretty cool to finally be in front of that crowd. And There was definitely a lot of fans who were excited to see me, which, sometimes I'm not used to. I'm not the biggest, most important wrestler out there, so it was cool to interact with a lot of different folks. And yeah, I overall enjoyed it. I didn't understand what was going on at all about the double entrance, because when I was like the second entrance or third entrance, so when I got out there, I saw like one other person, and then I was like, "Where's Tom and Josh? Didn't they already come out?" And then another music hit. Then I thought, like, I don't know what was going on. Then they came out again, and I don't know. They think they're a tag team, but they're in four ways every
Yes.
match. I don't know. It's a very cool, weird concept, but I'm all for it. So like stuff like that, that's out of the box, because I wrestle a lot in New Japan and AEW or OH, whatever. So it's more straightforward, more sports based, is most of the stuff that I'm doing now. So to have like a bunch of shenanigans like that, I'm like all for it. I love it. I'm a creative guy too, so I love that stuff.
Josh, when we talked to him, he's like, I didn't know if Rocky was going to go for this because he's like New Japan, like super serious, straightforward. And I was telling him like, he works with Gallows and Anderson. Trust me, there's probably nothing you can pitch him that he has not already heard.
Nor there's nothing that'll make me go like, what?
Yeah.
Like working with Gallows and Anderson, I mean, TalkNShopAMania Mania is my two favorite all time. I think they're the best pay-per-views of all time, but like, that's just my personal opinion, but I'm also a part of it. So, but yeah, so yeah, there's nothing you can throw at me that I won't be like, oh, that's fun. That's cool. Let's do that.
Well, listen, you talk about shenanigans, talk about storytelling and everything, and being a part of multiple companies. You have become the forbidden door. But here's the big question: Rocky Romero, are you the devil in AEW?
I wish I was, because he's about to cash in and make a whole lot of money. He or she. He or she.
Good catch.
So
worth
I wish
asking.
I was. I wish I was. And I wish I knew who it was, because I do want to know already. And I was sad that we didn't find out at Full Gear. So I was like, oh, man, you got to wait longer? No. And so hopefully we'll find out December 30th. Yeah.
Well, who knows? We got Hat Hair Wardlow running around. So
I don't know if the body type fits Wardlow, though.
Maybe not the devil, but there's some henchmen.
Yeah. True. Okay, true.
I like the response. Easy headline for me. I can easy headline. I appreciate you always give easy headlines when you do the interviews with Sean and everything.
This is the hardest part. I hate it. Because then I'm like, I didn't say that exactly like that. When the quote comes up, it's like 3 words that I said of like 2 sentences about whatever topic. And they take these little things and they make them into they chop it up into headlines. I'm just like, what? Yeah,
that's everybody else, not us. We don't.
No. Fightful's cool. Fightful's cool. But no, but it's the people that take the stuff from your interviews. Those folks. I got gripes. I'm ready to throw down.
Oh, feel free to air them. We'll give you the graphic. Rocky Romero addresses his enemies. Full graphic here.
Yeah. I like it.
The AEW Continental Classic going on. New Japan Strong involvement in that the New Japan Strong title is on the line, the open weight title, but no New Japan Strong wrestlers. I thought that somebody like a Tom Lawler or Fred Rosser would have been like great in this, because they have been such cornerstones of New Japan Strong. What were your thoughts when you heard Eddie Kingston made this announcement that the title was going to be on the line? And was New Japan clued in at all on this?
Yeah, so there was something going around that New Japan didn't know, but New Japan was in full. I knew the whole time. I told New Japan. So, but obviously, like, it's a unusual concept to have a New Japan champion, right, put up his titles at the end of this thing. So, so it was it's just a bit unusual. So I think that's where some of the people didn't really fully understand everything. So. But yeah, no, New Japan knew, and I think it's cool, and I think I really hope at the end of it, it's Eddie or Mox or somebody who does wrestle in New Japan or even Danielson, comes out on top, so hopefully I don't have to tell my bosses like, oh, we messed up and now here's somebody that we can't book, like who's in AAA or something. But no, I think it'll all work out. And, I'm excited. I think it's a cool concept, obviously, for US fans as kind of an introduction, because it's like the G1, right? So fans who haven't watched the G1, maybe we'll get hooked on the concept and come on over and, check out the G1 next year, because it's the best wrestling tournament on earth. You can't really duplicate it, exactly. So I do think that it's a cool introduction though.
And speaking of the G1, recently Will Ospreay had done some work with Impact Wrestling, and there was some talk about having one Josh Alexander come around and do the G1. Your thoughts on the potential of having Josh Alexander come and join the G1 field next year?
I think Josh is an amazing talent, and I think he's picture perfect for Japanese wrestling, especially New Japan. I think he fits perfectly. I mean, he'd be a mega star there. So coming into the G1, that would be incredible. I think he'd do really, really well. A lot of cool matches and dream matches I think that he could have with a lot of our talents.
Your match against Mystico on Rampage, how did that all come together? And were you expecting it to kind of draw the way that it did? Because once this match was announced, tickets started flying for this show.
Yeah, it was something that Tony and I had been talking about for months. We ever since we did Forbidden Door, we've been talking about the concept of trying to link AEW and CMLL, and if there was a way to do it. And I reached out to Mystico and I had a couple of conversations with him about it, and he was all for it. So it was kind of in his hands to kind of do some of the legwork to make it happen, because CMLL is, CMLL, they rarely work with other companies, but being involved in CMLL as much as I am, and kind of becoming one of the major players in the company over the last year, I said, I think it'd be cool if you worked with MLW. They had a meeting, it all worked out. So I think that I got some points for that. And then, so when it came time to do the Mystico deal and see if CML would be interested, they were definitely open to it, which I wasn't expecting because I didn't know how it was going to go. But yeah, Tony was great. He invited, obviously the CML referee to be a part of the match to give it that more of an authentic feel. And he also invited Salvador Lutheroth, who's the owner of CMLL, to come to AEW and check out the show. And I know they had a really positive meeting, so I wouldn't doubt it if you see more CMLL talent in AEW and possibly AEW talent in CMLL. I think that's a really big possibility coming into 2024.
This one has always plagued me, and I need an answer to it, Rocky. TalkNShopAMania.
What do you got?
Air Paris shows up out of nowhere. I was a big WCW fan, especially to the end days. How do we get Air Paris? I know he's told the story. I want your side of the story. How did Air Paris and who made the decision that it would be Air Paris that shows up for an event like this? Of all the names, all the people you could have gotten out there.
Well, we couldn't get AJ, so there's one. But two, no, Air Paris was awesome. I'm a big fan of that old school WCW too. So when Gallows was pitching this idea about Air Paris, and a lot of this came from Gallows, and his mind works like no other person I've ever met. He's the funniest man I've ever met in my life. Just like he doesn't try to be funny, but he's just funny. Things that happen to him are hilarious, and it's funnier because it's Gallows, and he's like almost 7 feet tall, and just wild things happen to him. He finds himself in some funny situations. Yeah, Gallows is a mastermind when it comes to comedy, and he's such a fan of wrestling, like the biggest geek fan of wrestling, that he just knows all these little things like that, and knows everybody. He really knows everyone. So yeah, I don't know exactly. He called Air Paris. He just kind of did it on his own. He told us the idea. me and Anderson were just like, all right, if you think it's gonna work, let's do it. So you know, that was cool about Talking Shop Mania is like we had so many different people, you know, like different wrestlers that were a part of it, you know. And the second one was cool too. You know, we had just a mix of talent, and being able to do part of it on the West Coast, we were able to use the budget to use some different talent out here as opposed to just people on the East Coast. So because you know it was a weird time during all that, you know, when during the pandemic, and it was hard to book, you know, a show like that, you know. So it was fun. Yeah, it was good though. Yeah, I don't know exactly what went down between Eric Perry. What did Eric Perry say?
I had the article up. I just closed it, but it basically
Okay.
told a similar story that it was Gallows that did it, but because y'all are a cohesive unit, most of the time I wanted to at least see if there was anything more from your side of things, and you know the experience of working with him, because by all accounts, you know, easy guy. Just it's fun when these talents show up out of nowhere.
Yeah, super nice guy, and I don't know. Like I said, I was a big fan of WCW and that era. So I thought it was cool that he was just a part of it. And there was a lot of people that weekend when we filmed that were showing up, and I was just like, what is going on? Like Vincent was walking around for like half the day, and you know, it was just like it's all on Gallows' property in the house. And I don't know if he told this, but Gallows' house got destroyed during that week because he had like 30 wrestlers there, you know, and he's got this mega house, and everybody's on different levels, and things got destroyed in the house and all kinds of stuff. So Talking Shop actually had to pay Gallows quite a bit of money just to pay for all the damages from all the wrestlers over that weekend. So then when we did Talking Shop Mania 2, we had to have like security and rules and people like guarding doors so that people wouldn't go all over the house and mess things up. And yeah, it was a little bit more controlled in that aspect, you know. So, but yeah, we definitely lost some money on that one.
Has there been anything? I assume most of it comes from Gallows when it comes to Talking Shop Mania that they just pitch and you're just like, I don't know about this. This might get us in trouble with this person, and then they didn't use
it. A lot of stuff was like, I don't think we can do that, and I don't think we can say that. I don't think we can do this. I don't think. Yeah. I mean, the whole thing, and I didn't even understand the whole concept for like 2 months or whatever, 2 weeks until we were doing that. I was like, wait, what are we doing? So, but then yeah, once it all kind of came out and like we saw what it was when we were there, you know, just all the ideas started to flow, the creative started to flow. And it was cool too, because everybody that we had on there, when we pitched them the idea, everybody just was laughing and then just tried to make it better, you know, which was great, you know. So it was cool. Like we had the flock on there. We had a bunch of members of the flock just come out of the bushes. Like it's just so random. Just random stuff. Like Gallows has so many characters and people that he knows, like all these minions that we call them, you know, they're just like attracted to Gallows. And so it's I don't know, the world of Luke Doc Gallows is a wild world for sure. Glad we could capture it for everybody's entertainment.
Talking about sifting through different creative ideas, someone in our chat, Weisolable, who's often here, asks about your approach to mediating with all these companies, because you are involved not only with just intercompany business, but also just you're there working as well. How do you work with all of these people, both as creative and a representative and as a wrestler?
I'm very tired. A lot.
There's your headline.
It's very draining. No, you know, I just love professional wrestling. I've loved it for a very long time, and to be able to have the trust of so many people and so many major players in professional wrestling is, you know, kind of the thing that I hope people will remember me by. You know, I obviously want to be remembered by having great matches and stuff like that, but I also want to be remembered as the guy who, you know, tried to get everybody to work together and try to change the, you know, the landscape of professional wrestling, you know.
I asked this of anybody who has been to Japan. The old story with Ribera is it's the best place for wrestling, not the best place for steak. What is Rocky Romero's review of Ribera steak?
Hold on, let me let my dog in because the same thing happened. Whenever I get on these interviews, my dog wants to come in and join. Hold on. Come on in.
We welcome the dogs.
Yeah. There's 2 of them today.
Let's
And then
go.
they're gonna complain. They're gonna complain and want to leave in like 2 seconds because they're like, "Dad's boring today." But Ribera steak. I actually like the steak. It's a little fatty, but I'm used to like the fatty Japanese steaks, and I like it. And they also have the best cream of corn or cream corn soup or whatever it's called. Amazing. I'll eat like 3 bowls every time I'm there. I don't do, especially since I don't do a lot. I don't do rice anymore. It's just too filling. But good red wine, good beer, and decent steak. Great soup. That's how.
See,
I
we're
roll.
expecting very Romero. We got look at this
Nah.
Rocky Romero.
I'm down. I think Ribera's cool. What's cool about Ribera too is it kind of blew up in the mainstream because it was on some like Japanese like foodie shows. So all of a sudden Ribera would obviously get like their little local area of people that would come in and customers, and then obviously the wrestling crowd, right? But then it turned mainstream, and you actually had to like wait in the line outside to get into Ribera or make a reservation if you're a wrestler. So yeah, I think the whole concept of Ribera is cool, and it's such a important part of the lore and the history of Japanese wrestling.
Well, Rocky, our last question for you is a very important one. It's a little game we like to play. It's called Partner Promo. We're Punch in the Face. I'm going to pick 3 different people. You're going to pick which one you would partner with in a tag match, which one you'd have a promo battle with in the ring, and which one you'd punch in the face in a singles match. TalkNShopAMania edition. Gallows, Anderson, Alex Kozlov. Partner, promo, punch in the face.
Okay. Partner with Carl Anderson. He's my best friend.
He'll do all the work.
Promo.
See, if you partnered with Gallows, you'd have to do all the work. That's the thing.
Hot tag, brother.
I'm going to be honest. All 3 of them, I'm going to do all the work. For sure. So that's not even
Carl.
We can't even throw that in there.
Carl at least will do some of it. The other 2 you got no shot with. You're definitely doing all the work.
I don't know. I think all 3 of them are about the same, I think, when it comes to that. But partner, because he's my best friend. Promo would be Gallows because he's the funniest man I've ever met. And then punch in the face is Alex Kozlov because we have a love-hate relationship, and he puts me through a lot as being his friend. But I love him to death. For sure.
Oh, thank you for joining us today, Rocky. We really appreciate it. Let everybody know where they can find you at.
At Azuka Rock, AZUCARROC on Twitter and our X and Instagram. Gotta get used to that. And you can check out TalkNShopAMania. It's on Fight TV, so you can watch that anytime, anywhere. They still send us checks, so we appreciate them. So thank you.
Okay, now I need to ask this: how much is the TalkNShopAMania money still getting?
We do pretty good when we get checks like quarterly or whatever it is now. They're pretty decent. Yeah, TalkNShopAMania is definitely in the black. For sure.
Good. You know what? Good, because those are some of my favorite events. And Sean Rossap and I stayed up until like midnight watching. I think it was the first one, and then doing a review of the show as well.
I saw that.
Yes,
it was hilarious. It was hilarious.
We that's right up our alley. I mean, you know Sean, you've spoken to him plenty of times. Like that's right up our alley. The stuff you guys are doing with TalkNShopAMania.
Yeah, I would love to do another one. I'm not saying I want those guys to get fired anytime soon, but if they do, TalkNShopAMania 3 will happen for sure. But hopefully they don't.
All right, there's my clickbait headline. Rocky Romero says, if Carl Anderson and I can actually frame it of like when Carl Anderson and Gallows get fired.
I didn't say when. I didn't say when though. I didn't say when.
You said if. You said if. Everybody
It's
put
like
on if
one day they get fired.
Rocky Romero desperately hopes Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows get released so they can do Talk and Shop.
I didn't say desperately.
That's what everybody else is gonna run, Rocky. That's what everybody
no,
else
I
is
know.
run.
No, I know. But don't be one of those people. Be above
Not
that.
us. Not us. No, not us at all.
Rocky, thank you so much for joining us again. You can check MLW One Shot on Thursday, December 7th. It's on Fight Plus. So once you get TalkNShopAMania, get Fight Plus. Check out MLW One Shot. Rocky's got a great match against Mascara Dorada for the MLW middleweight and CMLL World Historic Welterweight titles. Go check it out over at MLW.com. You can get tickets, and of course, all the information's there. Rocky Romero, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Hey, thank you so much, guys. Have a good one. I appreciate you.